Hi, my name is Mika. Today we're doing a very quick yoga warm-up, focusing on hamstrings, inner thighs, hip flexors, and a little bit of shoulders. Hope you like it. Let's go ahead and start today's practice in child's pose. Come towards the back of your mat, heels together, knees apart. Start to relax your forehead into the mat. And soften your tailbone towards your heels. As you inhale, feel your rib cage expand. As you exhale, sink your hips a little closer towards your heels. Walk your arms out a little further. On your inhale, rise up onto all fours, wrists directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. Thread the needle pose. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, bring your right arm behind your left wrist and drop your right shoulder to the midline of your body. Relax your right head on the mat. If this is already a nice stretch, you can stay here. To go a little bit deeper, walk your left hand out in front of you and a little bit over to the right. To go even deeper, you can bring your left hand behind your back to your right hip crease. Another option is to bring your left foot out to the side. Take one more breath. Remind yourself of your intention. And then slowly return back to all fours for the other side. Inhale, left hand reaches towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand behind your right wrist, drop your left shoulder down towards the mat. Relax your left cheek on the mat. Start to walk your right hand up and over to the left if you want more of a stretch. Hand can go behind your back to your hip crease. And only if you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your right foot out to the side. And then slowly come out of it, coming back to all fours. Curl your toes, lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, first prioritize having a flat back, straight line from your tailbone all the way towards the crown of your head. Eye gaze towards your knees. Feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to in order to keep a flat back. Over time, you can start straightening out your legs as long as you're keeping a flat back. Feel free to walk your dog, bending into one knee and then the other. Make sure you're pressing into your fingers and knuckles, trying to take the weight out of your wrist as much as possible. Imagine rotating your arms as if you could get your armpits to face each other. A little test for down dogs: if you bend your elbows would go straight down towards the mat rather than going out to the sides. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Just for a moment, hover here so that you can softly, with control, place your foot between your hands. Right knee comes to the mat, uncurl your toes. Inhale, low lunge. Make sure your hips are level. Make sure your lower back doesn't have too much arch. If you feel a huge arch in your lower back, try to take some of the arch out. Make sure your knee is stacked directly over your ankle. Shoulders relaxed. Feel free to go for a side body stretch, grabbing onto your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, reach to the upper left. Eye gaze to the upper right. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Take one more breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, straighten and fold. Curl your left toes towards your face. Square your hips. Usually this means pressing your right hip forward and your left hip backward. Imagine a little bit of an upward dog with your chest. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold. You can bring your hands over to the left side for an IT band stretch if that feels nice. Alternatively, you can also start to work towards a full splits, gradually inching one leg forward and one leg backwards, using blocks at your sides to support your hands. You can slowly come back up. Inhale into a low lunge. Curl your right toes. On your exhale, lift up into a crescent lunge. Double check your knee is still over your ankle and try to take some of the arch out of your back, rotating your pelvis forward, engaging your core. Shoulders are relaxed. If you still want more of a hip flexor stretch, start to straighten your right leg, keeping the arch out of your lower back. I like to do an upper body stretch here. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward. Exhale, tuck your chin, feel separation between your shoulder blades. Inhale, bring your arms back behind you. Bending at the elbows, feel your shoulder blades drop down your back, feel your chest opening. Exhale, round. Inhale, bringing your arms as far back behind you. Exhale, and then inhale through warrior one, pivoting your right foot down 45 degrees, and then through warrior two. From warrior two, pivot your feet so that they're angled outward in the same line as your thighs. Make sure your ankles are tracking in line with your knees so that you have no discomfort in your knees. If you ever do feel any discomfort in your knees, adjust the angle of your feet or don't squat down quite as low. Once you're in a comfortable position, press into the outer edges of your feet and squat down a little bit deeper. On your exhale, press your elbows and palms together, tuck your chin, feel your shoulder blades separating. On your inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together and down your back. Exhale, tuck your chin. Inhale, shoulder blades together and down your back. Exhale. Inhale. Shift over towards the back of your mat. If you're feeling a nice stretch here, you can stay here. Send your hips behind you. Feel an inner thigh stretch. Make sure your right foot is in line with your knee so that your knee is comfortable. If you still want to go further, and it's okay with your knee, you can come all the way down. Some people like to have the heel flat on the mat for a little bit more of a stretching option. And some people like to rise up onto their toes for more of a balance challenge. Curl your toes, your left toes towards your face. Option for a bind. Right hand comes in front of your knee, left hand goes behind your leg, and then try to clasp your hands. Lift your chest so that it's stacked over your heels. If you have a block, I'm sorry I don't have any blocks, but if you have a block, place it out in front of you for your hands to help with balance. Slowly release, place your hands on the mat, straighten out your leg, walk your hands along the mat all the way to the front. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, plant your hands to the mat, step your left foot back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows graze your rib cage. Come to 90 degrees. Inhale, upward dog, roll your shoulders down and back. Exhale, downward dog. Other side. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Hover here just for a moment. And then place your foot between your hands for a low lunge. Left knee comes to the mat, uncurl your toes. Inhale, lift. So take any extra arch out of your lower back by rotating your pelvis forward, engaging your core. Shoulders are relaxed. Feel free to go for a side body stretch, grabbing onto your left wrist, bringing your hands to the upper right, eye gaze to the upper left. Shoulder blades drop down your back. One more deep breath. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, straighten and fold. Ardha Hanuman, half splits, curling your right toes towards your face, pressing your left hip forward, right hip back. Think of a little bit of an upward dog with your chest, lifting your chest forward. Blocks are really useful at the sides here to help you keep your chest lifted. Inhale, low lunge. Feel free to go for a stretch again. And then exhale, straighten and fold. Same option as before. You can bring your hands to the right side of your mat for an IT band stretch, or you can start to work towards a full splits. Inhale, slowly come back up and through the low lunge. Curl your back toes and press up into a crescent lunge. Again, make sure that your lower back is not too arched. We're rotating our pelvis forward. Make sure right knee is stacked over your right heel. And only if you still need more of a hip flexor stretch, you can start to straighten your back leg. You can do the same upper body stretch here that we did on the other side, this one. Or if you have a strap or some type of pole, it can be really helpful to use that to do an upper body stretch. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms come back behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Think of keeping your shoulders in the same place, and you're just rotating your arms around them. Shoulders stay dropped down your back, rather than lifting your shoulders up and lifting them back down. That's not what you want. You want to just keep your shoulders still in the same place. And then you can bring your hands closer together along your strap or your pole in order to increase the intensity of the stretch. Go ahead and place that out of the way. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, open up to warrior two. Eye gaze across your right fingertips. Squeeze your right glute to open up your hips. Transition to goddess pose. Bring both your feet facing outward. Again, feet in line with your thighs, knees in the same direction as your ankles. And then squat down as low as you comfortably can on your knees. Press into the outer edges of your feet. If you like that stretch we did before, you can go ahead and do that again. Another one that I like is to bring right hand behind your back to your left hip crease, interlace your fingers. Drop your shoulder blades down your back. Gently tug your fist forward. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And hold here for a couple breaths. Release. Do the other side. Left hand behind your back to your right hip crease. Interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders down your back. Keep your shoulders down. Tug your fists forward. And then drop right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, release. Shift over towards the back of your mat. Again, stay whatever height is comfortable on your knee. If you're already feeling an inner thigh stretch here, you can stay here. Otherwise, you can come all the way down. Foot flat for more flexibility. Foot raised for more of a balance challenge. Curl your right toes towards your face. And then again, feel free to practice a bind just for fun. If you have a block, you can place it out in front of you for balance. Walk your hands along your mat to the front. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, palms come to the mat. Step back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Look between your hands. On your exhale, you can hop towards the seated position. And boat pose, move the flesh out from underneath you so you can balance. Keep a straight line from your tailbone all the way through the crown of your head. If your back ever starts to curve, then readjust yourself, straighten out your back. You can stay here. This is boat pose. If you want, you can bring your arms out or extend your legs. 10 times we're lowering and raising. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale. Halfway done. Keep thinking about your intention. 4. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. And then we'll finish in Savasana. Feet can be together, bottoms of your feet together, knees out wide.